Soundstripe.
Trying to get a lot of dough. Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphone.
Soundstripe.
Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is
Back to
possible.
the XandOSports Show. I'm your host, Ricky G. Stanley. And this week's we witnessed a lot. We witnessed the draft. We got some trades. Got a lot of stuff for you. However, let's get right into it. Like I said, we got some news, but it's not great news. Unfortunately, DeAndre Hopkins was suspended for the first 6 games of the 2022-2023 season. It's very unfortunate. He was caught with the PEDs. And so anybody that doesn't know what that means, it's performance enhancing some type of pill, anabolic steroid, ephedrine, anything underneath that, what they call antler oil, anything underneath that. And so I was curious. I was like, well, how you get 6 games already? I thought you had to be a repeat offender. So apparently with PEDs, you only have to get popped once. So if you get caught with like marijuana or something of that sort, you actually get a couple times to kind of correct that. So, like I said, I had to look up that because I was looking like, good gracious. Like, I didn't think it was a repeat offender, which he's not. This is his first time, and he's very extraneous on what he puts in his body. But apparently this one time, he put something in. But everybody's like, they couldn't believe it. It actually makes sense to me. He's about to be 30 years old. He still got good hands, and he got decent speed. But he came off an injury. A lot of times, players take certain things to try to speed up recovery. So break down, not to go too deep into it. Steroids, for example. I'm not saying that he took steroids, but steroids work and increases the blood flow in the body. So if you go and put 275 on your back and you haven't squatted in years, and you go and do it 10 times and you do 4 sets of that, your legs are going to feel like dog you know what. So your legs are gonna be shot. But the thing is, if you the ingredients in the steroid increases the blood flow that makes you heal faster, so you can do that again faster. So that's how people get bigger, faster, stronger. You still have to put in the time, but that is what the steroid or any type of PED does. So it's not like you took HGH. Now HGH is something totally different. Those guys are taking that. You go from being 6'2" to 6'5", and you're in your 30s, like something is wrong with that. I would be afraid to take that. Like I said, but the only part that got me was the fact that he said it was a surprise. I'm looking like, from the report, you got popped in November. It's May. There ain't no surprise. I don't even think he wrote that. I think somebody in his camp wrote that for him. And I think that's how that report came out. It kind of sounded stupid to me because I'm just like, dude, you got popped and came out with a positive test in November. Like I said, he was coming off a hamstring and another type of injury. I think it was like an MCL or something like that. So, unfortunately, he's going to get those 6 games. He did waive his right, because if he waive his right and take the first 6 games, then you would turn around and you'd be looking at he could get suspended at any time if he lost his appeal. So it's better to go ahead and take the 6 now. I guess he waived the options. However, he does have AJ Green, and now it makes sense why they went and got Hollywood Brown. I think the team knew already, and they needed to put Hollywood Brown in play just in case, you need more firepower. AJ Green, sometimes I seem like he never played football before, and then some days he looked like a beast. So Hollywood Brown will help. Like I said, he won't be back until week 7. So, moving on to the draft. I watched the majority of the first round. I did. The second round, I watched a little bit, but like after the second day, it's kind of like, those guys. If you're after the second round, you're pretty much filling up the roster. I don't think, sometimes you can find a diamond in the rough, and you can find a guy that probably got hurt or didn't have a good year and get a good player. But that's what training camp is for, to figure out who was who. So, like I said, I watched the whole first round. I honestly felt like up until pick 26, everybody was getting it right. When I mean getting it right, they weren't overreaching for a player. Prime example, I'm going to use the Giants. They went and got the kid from Florida last year. I think his name was Tony. He was not that guy. He was not. And they jumped to get him last year. It's more of a gadget guy, kind of like a Percy Harvin. That stuff doesn't really work as much if you're not in the right offense. And they ended up releasing him or trading him this year after the first round. I mean, after they picked him in the first round. So, that was a bad move. Last year, I think a couple other teams did the same thing. But this year, I feel like everybody that got the players, either they needed them or they picked the best player. So, like I said, up until 26, the Patriots picked someone, and I'll go over who that was later. But the biggest reach in the predictions, none of them were right about the quarterbacks. I was completely right on these. I didn't have these guys. I didn't have the exact picks, but I said none of these guys were for first round grade, especially early. But Pickett, I was like, you looking at late first. That was just my personal opinion. So Pickett ended up going, I want to say 25th, 24th, something around that, to Pittsburgh. And they didn't trade to get him. He fell to them. So it was kind of like they need a quarterback, but why not use your own pick? Don't trade up and don't lose any value. Do I think he should start day one? You got to prove that in OTAs and training camp. Like I said, the last time they started a guy day one, it was Ben Roethlisberger, and he played for, 20 seasons. So, and they've been doing okay with picking quarterbacks. It hasn't been terrible. Big Ben did get a couple Super Bowls, Did, throw right many yards, did have a lot of playoff wins. So, not bad. But Kenny Pickett, you're up next. So, I know most of these guys weren't going to make the top 10 picks. Some reason, the kid from Liberty, I think his name is Malik, they thought this dude was going to be a first-round pick. There's no way that he should have been a first-round pick. Nothing against his talent, but there are certain things you must have in order to be a first-round pick. Trey Lance and Malik or Trey Lance did not have it. Now, Trey Lance, could he ball out this year? He better. He had a whole year to get a mulligan. Pretty much, he got a whole year to sit and watch and get better. And nobody has tape on him, so he better come out good. But as for Malik, I felt like when he went to the Tennessee Titans, I felt like that was the best move for him. He get to sit behind, I don't even like saying his name, he get to sit behind Ryan Tannehill, and he get to find out what not to do. And two, that offense, somehow if Ryan Tannehill goes down, Malik is not going to be thrown into an offense that's superly complicated. You hand it off to that beast, and you be able to throw it on play action. As he gets better and gets his time down the NFL, he could be decent, if not good. I feel like his ceiling is Cam Newton. I feel like his floor is a bust. But, Malik is nowhere as big as Cam, so he's going to have to figure out how to throw the ball accurately. He did okay in college, but he threw for Liberty. Let's be real. It wasn't like he was, knocking down the door to SEC teams. But, Malik, rooting for you. He went in the third round. That's kind of like the earliest I had him. The kid out of, Sam Howell. Lord have mercy. They talked this man up this year, talking about he could be a first-round pick over my dead body, and I'm pretty much alive. There's no way that Sam Howell was supposed to be a first-round pick, and he went in, the fifth round? And then you got the kid out of Cincinnati. He went late, and I was like, he wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. And I felt like when you have a little bit of time, when you don't have it, I feel like if you go a little later, the pressure is not on for you to perform right away. Sit a year or sit behind a good veteran and then come out. Nobody remembers when Colin Kaepernick was, when he was drafted. He sat behind Alex Smith. Alex Smith got hurt. He comes out launching darts on that Thursday night football game. The thing is, Colin Kaepernick was not drafted in the first round. I think he went in the second. The thing is, when you get picked like that, the pressure is on when you get picked in the first round. It's really not. When you get drafted is when you play. So, like I said, Desmond Ridder, another kid. Like I said, he's not a day one starter, but he can play. So, if somebody put an office around him, why not? But the pick that I thought would have went first, he did not. He ended up going number 2. There was Aiden Hutchinson. And like I said, the Jags felt like they weren't going number 1 on Aiden. There's nothing wrong with it. But the Jags have not been known to develop players. They have not. They've hit a lot of talent. everybody's like, oh, they had Jalen Ramsey. They did not develop Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey was just one of those guys that was just good. They had plenty of talent. They had defensive linemen, outside linebackers. They guys that could run. And where are those guys now? I can't tell you where they are on the top of my head. So, like I said, Aiden, I felt like if you take Aiden and put him in a defense, whether it's a 4-3 or a 3-4, put his hand in the dirt, let him go for, 65, 70 snaps a game, and at the end of the season, he's going to have 8 sacks by himself. Just off of, his pass rushing ability. Now, the kid, I want to say, what is his name? Trayvon. Trayvon from Georgia, a good talent. But I don't see that pass rush ability. I just see a raw talent that he can get after it. But if you go against offensive linemen that can really block and scheme that, you're going to be running in circles and they're going to be wearing you out. But if they develop him, I feel like Trayvon could be good, but he ain't going to be Bruce Smith without help. So, let's see what the Jags do with him. They got the number 1 pick. They got him. Okay. Like I said, no offense to him, but I just felt like Aiden had a more of a skill set for pass rushing. Now, next up was the Jets. Oh, I'm sorry, no. The kid out of LSU, Stingler. I like him with the Texans, but I don't like their defense. Their defense is not going to let him shine. I'm actually still trying to catch a glimpse of this game. But their defense is just not going to let him shine. He's a man-to-man type guy, and they play that off-zone coverage, bend but don't break. They got to let that go. Hey, man, let him do his thing. You can let them zone it up over there, but let him lock it up over here. I feel like I watched him as a freshman. If I'm not mistaken, he's the same kid that was playing corner for LSU, and I think it was 2019, 2020 when they won a championship. He can lock some guys up. I want to see it. Like I said, but their defense not set up for him. So, unfortunately, either they're going to have to set it up to change it for his strength, or they're going to waste his years. What's the next kid? Oh, Sauce Gardner. He got picked up by the Jets. I like that. He got a lot of swag. He's a lean corner. The Jets do need someone that can command that secondary. I feel like Sauce, he's faster than the person I'm going to say, but he kind of remind me with his length and his ability to redirect receivers is a Richard Sherman. He reminds me. He's faster than Richard, but I feel like his length and how long he is and how he can redirect guys, I feel like his ceiling is Richard Sherman. And he, if he gets in the right scheme and they get and let him do his thing, he could be as good as Richard Sherman or Darrelle Reeves. I'm calling it early. I feel like he got the swagger for it. But Sauce Gardner, don't let me down. Hey, I'm talking to you up now. Like I said, Stingley is a very good corner playing for the Texans, but I just feel like that scheme is not going to work for him unless they change it. Who's next? Oh, Carolina. Carolina went with the offensive lineman from NC State. I feel like they need an offensive line. They got him. That kid, Lord have mercy. He can play inside. He can play outside. He is nasty. He can get down with the get down. And like I said, they need guys like that. They got McCaffrey that can still run the ball. They're going to have to find out who their quarterback is. And what was they talking about? The kid Malik. Oh, they should have drafted him. Nope, not him. But like I said, he's nasty. He can get down with it. And I feel like he is what they needed. And they didn't reach for no type of receiver. They got their 2 receivers. I feel like they're going to be good in that position. You guys probably want to know what I felt about my Eagles picking. I like it. I like the fact that, first of all, you don't build those guys on trees. He is 6'6", 300, and if I ain't mistaken, he runs 4.7. You can't find him on a tree. No, you don't just go pick one of those. He's a grown man. Jordan Davis out of Georgia. He can run. He's big. He's strong. And we need that because Fletcher Cox is getting a little aged out there. I feel like he's going to need some help. With Brandon Graham being aged and he can't anchor that in, I feel like last year Malik did a good job. But Fletcher Cox got hang out to dry a lot because guys were double teaming, cutting him at the line of scrimmage. And two, like, they were using him as like kind of like, how can I say it? They were using him just to clog up holes and then let everybody run free. And I ain't like that. That's not how he plays. He plays better when you let him go get it. And I feel like this kid can actually free up for Fletcher because you can't double Fletcher no more with him down there. So, like I said, I'm going to be real curious of how that's going to work. I think they're going to keep Malik for another year. So they still probably rotate him in and, you know, get him in there with those packages. Because, like, to be honest, he's actually flexible enough that you can move Fletcher outside for certain defenses and put him where Fletcher plays. So, like I said, I'm curious about how that works. Oh, but I did look this up. The kid that the Patriots got, when they jumped from, I think they moved up to 26, and they took Kansas City's pick. The problem I have with that, first of all, his name is Cole Strange. I'm gonna nickname him Dr. Strange. I didn't see that coming. He's out of Chattanooga. I don't think he's trash, but I don't think he was I didn't think he was a 26 pick. Even the coach for the Rams was like, oh, we had him going like 104, and I was looking like, yeah, I didn't know he was until like 3 days ago. But that's something the Patriots normally do. They see a guy, they go, but I didn't think they should have jumped that high. I felt like he would have been there in the second or the third round. Like I said, I don't think nobody was going to be, jumping for joy to go get this guy. But I feel like he's not trash. He's a gamer. It's the fact that, he's the butt of that joke because, hey, how do you jump that high to go get an offensive guard that nobody knows about? If he was that good, he'd have been, probably would have drafted before that. But outside of that, New Orleans was the only team to jump up, and they went and got the receiver out of Ohio State. I think his name is Olave. I think I'm saying his name right. But the thing is with that is they had teams after that pick that was going to pick receivers, so they had to make their move if that was their guy. But as you know, my Eagles, they did make a splash with their second first-round pick. We got A.J. Brown from the Tennessee Titans. Me personally, I did not feel like he was worth $20 million a year. I did not. Like I said, his first year he had 70 catches for 1,000 yards. The second year he had over 1,000 yards. Last year he had under 1,000, but he did get banged up. He only played 13 games. However, I just felt like he just didn't do it for me. I feel like Smith, as a rookie, had a better year than this guy did last year. And so I went back and looked at some things, and I was like, you got to remember, they're a run-first offense. And then they tried to incorporate Julio and some other guys in offense as well, and A.J. Brown was banged up. If A.J. Brown is not banged up, and he is good as they say he is, he will get his opportunities, and I see him surpassing the 1,000-yard mark, maybe even 1,300 yards. And the good thing about that is Smith will not get double-teamed as much this year. I feel like Smith had a very good year for the Philadelphia Eagles as a rookie. However, those other dudes were not. So it was like he's the only one out there really making plays. We got some guys that can run, but it's like if I need a play, I know it's gonna go to number 6. Period. Like that's it. Like the rest of them, Like I said, don't even get me started on that first round guy we got from TCU. Like I don't even like saying his name. But but it's just it's. I just feel like A.J. Brown, 5 years, $100 million, or however much we paid him, I just didn't feel like he was worth it. But A.J.'s no offense to you, I just feel like the offense didn't allow you to do your thing. So we like to sling it around. You have plenty of time to go get the rock, to stay healthy. Like I said, in the others, like I said, they were trash, and I think they can be trash this year. So we do have our 2 guys that are going to be on each side. I feel like the Cowboys did not get any better. The Giants, they did get better with Thibodeau and a couple other picks they had, but those guys got to develop. I like Thibodeau and the Giants, but guess what? He's still going to be a rookie. He might get, he might eat a little bit, but we're going to put hands on him. But as for the Redskins, I feel like I don't fear them either. I'm sorry, not Redskins, the Commanders. I don't fear them either. So I feel like my man Anthony Moore, I may be getting revenge this year in the conference by default. If we stay healthy, I feel like we can at least go 9-8 and still beat the Cowboys twice and the Giants twice. And we might split the Redskins if they get good. But with the playoffs, like I said, the NBA playoffs is running. Like I said, there's a lot going on. Playoffs, MLB is running at the same time. Like I said, you know, I'm going to try to drop another video before the end of the week is up. Well, the end of the week for me stops at Sunday. So I try to get another one out that will cover the basketball as well as the baseball. I feel like if I put too much in one video, it's going to be a very long video. So, like I said, you know, in due time, we will see. But this is my time. I'm your host, Ricky G. Stanley, and I am out of here.
Soundstripe.
Trying to get a lot of dough. Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphone.
Soundstripe.
Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and buy my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and buy my nose. Anything is possible.